Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cinnamon, the no longer starving artist, having arrived in the warm southern lands up by the lake, ready to build a relaxing lake house, inspiring for artwork in the future. Here's our immediate goals, which we'll kind of go through pretty quick here because we've already done them at the start of this series. We need to set up ourselves a very quick temporary shelter, which we'll do just to the north here. We also need to get some quick farming going for rice, a nice sustainable source of food. Of course, we need to make sure our basic needs of joy and food prep are taken care of. And then I want to get going on a massive stockpile of wood, like 2,000 wood. And after that, we can check off all of our immediate goals and then move on to planning goals. Kind of building and upgrading the base to the point where we can make some fancy art. So, right out of the gate, let's take a look at Cinnamon and see what's going on here. Her recreation is completely zero, so if I just unpause, I believe she'll immediately start wandering. Just going to take a passive walk around. However, this is solitary relaxation, and she's already somewhat resistant to that, so a better idea might be to chop down this tree over here, and then utilize that to make ourselves a horseshoe pin. She'll get a little bit more joy from this, I think, a little bit quicker. This structure right here is the one we want to temporarily move into. So once Cinnamon's done reclaiming her joy, we'll set all of our stuff up there for our bedrolls, our stockpiles, our food. We'll chop a few more trees in the area, use that to close up that room, put our traps up there, move our meds, all that good stuff. Yeah, she's gonna definitely, after all that time on the road, she just wants to stand still and throw a horseshoe around. It's interesting that they have horseshoes in this game, but they don't actually have horses in the game unless you add a mod that adds horses. Isn't that weird? I just thought about that right now. Like, where do all these horseshoes come from if there's no horses on any of the Rimworlds? Anyway. Alright, so we've got the basics here, but I'm now realizing already, we have got a heat wave, but we're gonna have to deal with heat in this biome, unlike the last biome where we had no issues whatsoever with heat. Hey, hello little gazelle over there. Speaking of dealing with heat, the best way to deal with heat is gonna be to make a duster. And the duster will also help us to stay protected. So you know what? Let's come over here and see if we can't find more of these gazelles. We could hunt. Oh, absolutely. Well, the heat wave is over, but still, we're going to have some issues with heat. Not necessarily right now because we're coming into the fall here, but there could be another heat wave, and it's a pretty hot biome overall. So regardless, and I want the duster just for defense. So I think 3 of these are going to be enough. I'll mark those guys up for hunt, and we can deal with that a little bit later. We're going to need a few more basic things here, like, say, a butcher's table. I think we'll just throw that outside. That'll be fine and dandy. We're also going to need a stove. Unfortunately, the fuel stove is going to require steel, and as far as I know, actually, is this steel? Yes, it is. Steel, okay. So we can come over here and deconstruct whatever the steel is. We can use that to build our fueled stove that's made out of steel. After we build the wooden butcher's table, we need a little bit more wood for that. I want to try to avoid cutting wood in this area, because this is going to be part of our eventual fenced-in final area. So we'll cut off to the west or down south if we need to. And then lastly, we're going to need a little bit of grow zone here. I'm thinking not too much because there's only one person. So how much does one person really need for rice? My guess is that's going to be actually more than enough. So we'll plant this for rice. And that's just about it. Now we'll just let Cinnamon go about her day here, getting these things taken care of. Well, we're gonna need a butcher forever. We're going to need to make a duster one single time. The duster is 80 ingredients. Hopefully we get that from the 3 gazelles over here. And then I actually want to make fine meals instead of simple meals since we now have the cooking skill. So we'll queue up 6 of these guys. And believe it or not, do until X. I actually want to make lavish meals. We can't quite make them yet because we need a skill of 8 and we only have a skill of 6, and we'll get there relatively soon. But then I'll switch over to lavish meals. Now in like 1,200 hours of this game, I've never actually bothered with lavish meals because they take 2 times the ingredients for the same amount of nutrition, and they take more work to produce, and the only benefit is you get a mood buff. However, it actually does make sense in this case because we only have 1 character, and that 1 mood buff will actually be pretty substantial, and food is going to be infinitely abundant, so it's not a big deal. And she's a really good cook, so the time spent doing it won't be a big deal either. And the character going on a mental break is a huge issue. So once we can get up to the proper cooking skill, what are we at now? We are currently at 7 cooking with 5,000 out of 8,000. Yeah, so pretty soon we'll actually switch over to lavish meals. Oh no! Who the what? So this random wild man walked in a while ago, and I had intentionally left this event on in the very beginning of the campaign because I figured, all right, I don't have to tame them, and it'll be interesting to see who they are and what they're all about. Here's the problem. He's stealing my fine meal! This frigging doofus. Wow. Look at this. He's the literal opposite of us. He's incapable of art and being smart. He is, however, a night owl. What a name, huh? what a name. Incredible shooting, melee construction, crafting. Well, here's the thing, right? This is a solo survivalist challenge. This lad has got to go, and this is how we get him out of here. Come on, Cinnamon. Get him out of the way. No more fine meals for you, sir. We only have the ability to make 4 of those, too, so... Oh, bloody hell. Oh, God. Now he's kind of wanting to kill us. Death in 11 hours. Well... I mean, not the worst thing that could have happened. If you were a starving artist and a wild man wandered in, would you A, shoot them, or B, make friends with them? Especially with a name like that. Alright, we didn't quite get enough leather. We'll have to hunt up another one. The reason I'm not putting the table inside is because I want to store the food inside, and we have extremely small amounts of space. We can't really fit it. So we'll go hunt up one more of those gazelles if we can find one. Well, the duster that came out, actually, believe it or not, was good quality. All right, that's none too bad. We can probably unforce Cinnamon's clothing now. There's no reason to have it all forced up there. She's going to finish up the last task of cleaning. And now we have the basics taken care of. How's our rice doing? 73%. Tomorrow we'll have that grown. Well, this will all be gone in less than a day, unfortunately. So unless we cook that up as a simple meal, or we find berries to cook it up with, like, say, right here. Fantastic. Let's harvest those guys. Let's also add the berries over here. This way we can convert that meat into something useful before it's completely expired in a couple of minutes here. Well, indeed, most of it isn't going to rot away. About 150 gazelle meat. But we've got 6 fine meals, and rice will be ready to go soon, so we hunt some more gazelles later, and we'll have probably, maybe even, we can get super fancy meals. Cooking 7, very close. 1,500 more, so another couple of days we can work on moving up to lavish meals. So the next thing is an unbelievably ginormous stockpile of wood. I don't want to cut over here because I want this to be kind of natural. This is where we're going to put our base a little bit later. So instead, we can cut all of this out right here and move that toward this area. And wow, is that going to be a lot of wood. That is a lot of wood. Item stash quest. Resurrector Mech Serum. Now, there's no way we can use this because I believe I disabled the man in black. I kind of wish I didn't, because now if we did die, we could have the man in black come, inject us with the Resurrector Mech Serum, and then leave. Let's just play hardcore. We don't need an extra death, please. Better to just not die. Plus, imagine if we died trying to get it. What a way to end the series that would be. Ah, our first raid is here. A group of pirates from the west, also cargo pods, have deposited red panda meat. Interesting. Let's look around and make sure I cancel off any berries. Where did these cargo pods land? I'm curious. Way the heck out there. They've deposited red panda meat in the ocean. If I look over here, all of our rice is at 100%. Okay. Our first raider should be coming from the west. Let's get back to the base, where we indeed have defenses of some sort. I think down here is a pretty nice place to be. Fantastic. Oh, there we go. Sister is on the way over. And that's it. Just one colonist. Well, my plan is to get super rich in this location with the art and whatnot. So these raiders should be getting a lot bigger than just a single person at some point. Right now, 1 is kind of a joke. 2 will be more interesting, but still not that difficult because we only have to kill one of the 2 for them to break. But once we start getting to 3, 4, 5, 6, that is going to be super challenging and actually pretty interesting. We're going to have to really focus on defenses at that point. Well, not surprisingly, Sister was not a threat, and Cinnamon has dispatched of her easily. Well, we've got wood for days. How much more do we have left to haul over? A little bit. We've picked up a stockpile of 1,101, just about. We have a raider from the north incoming. And more importantly, there's a rare Thrumbo maybe down here to the south. Let's actually come down and take a look, see if I can't find him. I was thinking about hunting the Thrumbo so we could make all Thrumbo for clothing, which would be very, very, very resistant to sharp damage. The thing is, I didn't think it would be too safe to attack it by myself, but with a raider here, he can distract it while we land some initial shots. By the way, there were some cargo pods with potatoes that I had decided to ignore, but hey, now that I see them all, why not set them all to haul for the future? Look at all these ibex and buffaloes over there. What the heck is this crazy thing? Duck-billed platypus? All right, this is what I was worried about. The raiders are setting our base on fire, and we can't find the Thrumbo, so let's zoom back as fast as we can. Oh yeah, they're lighting everything on fire. This is no good. It's actually not too bad, though. It's just the one guy, Beaver. We'll be fine. Beaver's going to try to run across the ocean. That's not going to work too well for him. Now, we did spend 400 years trying to get all this wood, so the last thing I want to do is have it all die in a fire. But one more shot on Beaver, and I think we're fine. Okay, well, we missed a shot. Who cares? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom across. We're going to ignore the fact Beaver's attacking us. I'm going to go prioritize putting these fighters out. That's what's important here. You know what we can also do? Since I have these traps, just come right over here. Come on, Beaver. Oh, hey, there's the Thrumbo that I wanted to engage with Beaver. Unfortunately, it's a little silly to do it now since he's already just about dead. Bloody hell, I wish I knew what that thing was before. Beaver's pretty sneakily fast, too, unfortunately. Yeah, some might say he's a little frustrating with all that stuff burning up there. We don't need the tailoring bench anymore anyway, unless we get the Thrumbo, so... There we go. He's down. Let's immediately take care of the fires. And problem resolved. All right, now we need to find a good place to get rid of all these corpses. I'm thinking, usually I like to throw them in the river so they decay faster. Over here is probably not a bad place at all. All corpses of the human-like variety. Fantastic. Meanwhile, Cinnamon probably needs a break after all that nonsense. Well, not a bad day's work. We've got nothing left to do. Good stockpile of wood, good defensive traps, good stockpile of food ingredients. Let's take a look at the skills, shall we? Cooking is still 1,500 away from super awesome meals. I suppose now the idea then is let's go hunt up a few muffalos so we can make some fine meals before we can make into some lavish meals. There was a whole bunch down here someplace. Or, you know what, we could probably even handle these ibex. We've got enough traps now that an ibex revenge proc wouldn't be all that bad. Plus, we're now a much better shooter, having a skill at shooting at 8, and we have a ranged weapon that has a far more further range, meaning even less chance of a renge. So, Cinnamon should be able to handle this no problem. Okay. For all these 9 million reasons and more, this won't happen. Hey guys, so I'm editing this episode, and it wasn't immediately apparent as I was playing this, but this event is actually quite a good metaphor for life. You know, it's like you have all the knowledge, you have all the skill, you take every precaution, and yet your plans just get wrecked by an ibex revenge. It's like sometimes even the best laid plans simply aren't going to work out, you know, and you could complain about your bad luck, or you could stick to your plan, keep practicing, keep improving, you know, whatever it takes until you eventually master your craft. It's actually kind of funny because it's the same exact thing for creating gaming content on YouTube. Every Rimworld series we've made for the last 2 years has had less views than the one before it, but every series keeps getting better and better, and I'm really proud of this one. I feel like it's the best we've made ever. I mean, this event just on multiple levels inspired me to finally learn Adobe Illustrator, something I've been afraid of for many years, just so I could make this Ibex Revenge shirt here. I don't know. This feels so cheesy to say, but it was a motivational moment for me, and I thought maybe it could be a motivational moment for you guys too. So, anyways, I'll throw a link up down below. They're available from today until February 14th. There's a bunch of colors and stuff like that. Just a very special thank you to anyone who does pick one up. It helps to support the channel so we can make more episodes like this. But yeah, let's get back to our starving artist. A cold snap. All right, that's going to necessitate that we actually build a campfire in here. Yeah, it'll probably kill the plants. Cold snaps, no matter what environment you're in, almost always seem to kill the plants. And the rice plants are indeed dying because of the cold, yes. Also, a lot of the animals will be leaving the map because of the cold as well. Let's take a look at how making 6 or I think 7 total fine meals will affect our skill in cooking. It was at 6,500. We're now at 7,752. There we go. We do one more of those, we actually have enough. You know what? Let's make that. Let's go up 1. Fantastic. We're going to unpause this. We're going to have Cinnamon manually come over here and cook one more time. Boom! Cooking on an 8. That means for the first time ever, we can actually delete fine meals. We're going to start making lavish meals. So we're going to make 6 of them. They're going to take a lot more ingredients, but hey, they're going to make us a heck of a lot more happy. Fantastic, actually. All right, the time has come for us to build a fancy bedroom and also a fancy kitchen with a freezer and maybe even some windmill electricity. But before we get there, let's make sure we haul all this food inside immediately. Then we'll allow Cinnamon to get that hunting of the other 2 ibex down that are done. So we have a little bit of a stockpile of food and reserves, and then we can go about building for a couple of days and moving into a much, much, much better home than we have here. Let's check this bandit camp quest. Wow. A slate fireplace electricity. That's interesting. Because I was just looking at building one of those and I didn't have any blocks. Not that I think I can even carry it back. Thrumbo for bedroll, a plasteel iqua, and a wooden mace. All of those things are honestly terrible for the most part. And unless they were super close, it is actually relatively close. There's a lot of things we could do here. 1, 2, 3, and then come on back. The thing of it is, though, is that we have no defenses, so if we leave the base with no turrets, then it could get destroyed. In any event, it is now time to build the main house, the main bedroom. You can see over here I've already got it kind of laid in. I tried to do my best to make it fancy by putting in all these gloomy furniture things and a couple of decorations here and there. Let's see what the total is for all the resources in the whole lot. 743 of our 800 wood, 25 steel, 20 plains leather, and 507 work. Oh boy. All right, well, at least we've got enough wood for one house. Well, would you look at that? Just as we finish up the room and we start cleaning up the piles here, I noticed we have no storage space. That's because I never turned steel on over here. I meant to do it before. And then 3 muffalos. Well, that would be absolutely perfect because we are 100% out of our fine meals now, which means it's finally time to start cooking the lavish ones. So let's reinstall this over here. We're no longer going to need to use this, so we can actually uninstall our bedroll here and expand this. Basically, just have it be one complete cooking storage area for the time being. And this will be our new bedroom. Cinnamon. Boom. Fantastic. What a quaint little thing, I think. I really do feel like we should hunt these guys. They're very safe. Lots of good meat there. The only problem is we'll probably have a bunch of it go to waste. But you know what we can do next is start working on the windmill. So let's take a look at the electricity. To build a windmill, we need 280 wood, 80 steel, and 3 components. Now, components basically are going to take us an eternity and a half to mine out of the areas on the map. There's nothing I can see on the map already where I could like deconstruct a ship part. So that's the only way we're going to be able to build any of these things actually is with components, meaning we're going to have to train mining. And unfortunately, as of beta 19, I think it was, or alpha 19, mining became unimaginably slow when you have 0. So this is going to take quite a long time. So with that being the case, let's only hunt one of these guys. I'm sure the rest of the meat's going to go to waste. Plus, we also need to farm up quite a bit more wood, because as always, I don't have enough. And Cinnamon is now going to sleep for the first night in a brand new bed. Look at this unbelievably ugly creature. What in God's freaking green earth? I think it's so ugly. In any event, isn't this a nice sight to see? Well, a new day is nearly upon us. So today's goals are going to be chop wood, get 1,000,000 billion wood, and then build a whole new kitchen to replace the weirdo little kitchen we have right now, and simultaneously turn it into a half-decent dining room. It's going to be mostly just chop, 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 chop. And then if we get time, we can chop some more and then build an art studio and actually get on being an art trader of the sorts. Whew, that meat is a lot. There we go. Everything is 100% clean over here in our new bedroom. Everything's 100% clean over here. Everything's butchered. And now I'm going to start planting the garden. Now, here's the thing. It's the 8th of December, but it's actually warm enough to plant still, amazingly. This is a whole new biome as far as difficulty, that's for sure. Let's look at Cinnamon's mood. I noticed Cinnamon's mood's going up crazy fast here. So, slightly impressive bedroom, +3. Slightly impressive rec room, +3. I'm not sure what in here is being recreation. Possibly the barrel, possibly the teddy bear I made, Cinnamon. Slightly impressive dining room, because that's the only table we have. Interesting. Ate a fine meal, +5, expires in 3 hours. Spacious interior, interestingly enough. She feels free. Okay, I thought that would actually be a small space, but okay. Extremely comfortable. Oh, look at this. 8 lavish meal, 12. And the fine meal. I didn't know you could stack them. So you could have 1 fine meal and 1 lavish meal per day and have +17 mood buff. Huh, crazy. Yeah, and then between the comfort of this room, the size of the room, the quality of the room, the quality of the meals, the fact that we have a table in here, ooh, this is just fantastic. It is, however, ridiculously hot at 82, 83. As soon as I can, we'll get some electricity going. That's our next goal, and then maybe we can heat this to a comfortable temperature. Then we can use the electricity also to make the kitchen freezer area. All right, we have never been in a better situation. Our mood is sky high, 73%. We are 100% decked out on everything, and it's only 11 o'clock at night, and we're a night owl. So the obvious thing here is chop, 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 chop. Oh, a raid. All right. A group of pirates are going to prepare for a while, and then they will attack. All right, well. And there's a Mad Muffalo. Interesting. Mad Muffalo is right down there near the raiders. Okay, well, this presents an opportunity. Mad Muffalo's down to the right. Raiders are down to the left. Let's see if we can't make the Mad Muffalo make the raiders mad while we just collect all the pickings. Professional pickin' collector. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. It was actually already engaged with them. I see. Knife. Did it already crush them, I wonder? Oh, wow. That would be amazing. So, if that were the case, let me check the Muffalo really quick. No immediate danger. Okay. I'm pretty sure it actually already killed the raiders for us. Easiest raid, literally, all time. Okay, how long until this meat spoils? We have 23 hours. Over here, we've got 23 hours. There's no real way to refrigerate that right now. We need components up the wazoo. It's just going to take us a long time to get it. What I want to do, let's ignore this. The longer it takes to bleed out, actually, the better. Because as soon as it dies, then the death timer or the rotting timer starts ticking. I am pretty sure that Muffalo actually went mad and destroyed the raid. Let's go find out. Oh my lord, yes, how the heck did the... I guess the Muffalo went mad here. The closest thing was the raider there instead of me there, so the Muffalo charged the raider? Raid solved. Amazing. I've never actually had a raid auto-resolve itself like that before. Oh hey, here's some more steel, by the way, in case we need that. So we've got 903 wood. That's going to be enough to put in our new kitchen. Well, I have plans for the new eatery. Here they are. Unfortunately, they're going to take 1,400 wood. I thought 842 would be enough. It also is going to require 85 steel, and we only have 44. So, yeah. That's going to be a lot more than I expected. Let's come down here then. Grab these guys. Boom. Fantastic. Deconstruct. Same deal over here. Awesome. Deconstruct. We'll get those floors a little bit later. Of course, we're going to need even more trees, because who doesn't need infinite trees when doing work of sorts? Beautiful. This is going to take an extremely long time. But when it's done, it's going to be beautiful. Gift from the Purple Camel Habanero. What did they give us, I wonder? A short bow normal. Thanks, guys. Not that I have any real interest in that, but that was nice of you. Ooh, all right, we need to cut a few more pieces of wood, but that is almost done. As a special celebratory maneuver, what we're going to do is murder this Thrumbo. Now, we haven't actually had a Lavish Meal for a long time, just because I wanted to make a perfect time lapse. So what we'll do is we'll just cook a couple of quick, simple meals here. We'll eat them up. Fantastic. That'll help Cinnamon's mood quite a bit. Her rest and recreation are fair enough. Night owl in the daytime. Bit of an issue, but I don't want the Thrumbo to run away while we're sleeping. So, you know what? Better idea, I think. Actually, her mood's way too low to do this. Let's let her take a nap. We'll deal with this tomorrow, or as soon as we wake up, tonight, rather. I do want to try to kill it, though, because if we could get all of its furs, that would be absolutely fantastic for a whole new set of armor and leather. And, the Thrumbo fur is super resistant to sharp items. The reason I'm happy to do this is because I have not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 traps in a row that we can easily bait the Thrumbo over. Fantastic. That's her meal, that's her mood, and we're off. We're going to come up here. This is very dangerous. Be very careful with Thrumbos. These things are maniacs. But I'm confident. Yep, first shot, guaranteed revenge. It's 100%. Let's have Cinnamon dash back here. The Thrumbo's way faster than her as well. I'm gonna come down here briefly and then come over here to zig, 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 zig. Oh, sup? Oh, God. Oh, boy. Okay, maybe I should not have been so confident. Movement speed 4.4. That was... Movement speed 3.35. Okay. Maybe it was foolish of me to have been so confident. Okay. Let's take a look at it very briefly. Its health capacity here is death in 15 hours. Its movement is 80%. Okay. Well, this is going to be crazy. Maybe I should not... Oh, Cinnamon, if that thing hits you, you're dead. You are dead. You are dead, Cinnamon. Run. Bait it around the trees. Wrong way. Okay, this way. Micro. Super micro. Oh, yeah, boys. This is how it's done. Thwack! Super micro. Whew. I should not have been confident about this. Oh, boy. That was insane. I cannot stop. Yes! All 7 traps. Let's hope there's not a raid sometime soon. Whew. Also, we have no more trees either, and this isn't quite done over there, but we'll take care of that soon. I'm not sure why I'm still running around. Eventually, I'm going to get ahead of it. And then we'll take a shot. Let's take a look at what 7 traps did to the Thrumbo. Death in 10 hours. It's bleeding something fierce. Whew. I didn't expect for it to be as close as it was, but hey, at least something exciting after that ridiculous building montage, right? That literally bounced off its armor. Good. Smart move here. Let it bleed out slowly. It's going to take 5 hours, or up to. In the meantime, I'm actually going to have Cinnamon. Yeah, perfect. She already wants to harvest the rice plant. We can get all of this, haul it inside. Then the corpse will be dead. Bring it over, butcher it, queue up a huge amount of meals. Good timing. And back to Lavish Meals it is. How long do we have here? 2 days to try to refrigerate this room. That's going to be pretty tough. We'll have to see. Let's first get a stockpile of food, and then we'll go out there and see if we can't mine ourselves up some components. Maybe, just maybe, we can do it. We'll see. Let's see how long this is going to take. We have 2,000, and Cinnamon is going to hit it once every hour for 80. Wow. That's going to take more than a full day to break one single block. All right, well, we'll give it our best bet. And even if we get it, I don't think we're going to get enough components. Let's check out her skill while she's doing it. Mining. Yeah, once we hit 1,000, it's already going to go up a fair bit. This is why I did not do this during the winter when a million people suggested I do it, because it takes literally days to get to a point where you can even do anything. And we barely got that halfway, and now it's time for sleep, and we're already 4 hours past our bedtime. Insane. Day number 2. 1. We got 1 component. So what we need for refrigeration is a cooler that needs 3 components, and we also need a water mill that needs 3. So we need 6. So the smart move here, because the amount of items you get from the mine is related to your mining skill, and there's very little components here. I hoped we would get 2. We could just do it twice. Alas, we actually need 6, not 4. So it only makes sense to train on something other than the compacted machinery. Unfortunately, that means pretty much all of this meat is going to go to waste, but alas. And there we go. I think we've done okay this episode. We've got a nice butchery area. We have a pretty fancy looking kitchen / dining room. We've rebuilt all of the traps for defenses. We've also got some thrumbo fur for some upcoming clothing upgrades. Things are looking pretty good. We even happened upon a completely impromptu motivational shirt design. Well, what do you know? You can find inspiration in even the silliest games in life. That's my outro for today. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Or, you know what? We could probably even handle these ibex. We've got enough traps now that an ibex revenge proc wouldn't be all that bad. Plus, we're now a much better shooter, having a skill at shooting at 8, and we have a ranged weapon that has a far more further range, meaning even less chance of a rend. So, Cinnamon should be able to handle this no problem. Okay.